Welcome back to another episode of That's Aaron Podcast. And if you love music, you are in the right place. Today we are joined by Chris Carney, who was involved in a very exciting project that we had up in Slane Castle not too long ago. But before we get into that, there was some sad news in the Cunningham household, the sad passing of Lord Henry Mount Charles. He brought so much to us, Chris. He brought memories that's going to live with us forever. He brought international acts that Ireland probably didn't think they'd ever come and see in the early 80s with everything going on. You know, you had the Rolling Stones coming in the early 80s, Tin Lizzy, Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen, Queen. I mean, you had the A-list of A-list coming to a little village in County Meath, and Lord Mount Henry is the one that had the initiative to bring it. And
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
my parents and my uncles and my aunties and the older generation, which moved on to our generation that we caught shows in, we just have to be so grateful for them.
yeah, Gavin. There's no doubt about it. The man, in my opinion, never my opinion, many people's opinion in the
Yeah,
Irish music scene, Lord Henry Mount Charles, he changed the outlay of the Irish live music scene, and as you said, opened us up to the international market. And some of the names you've just listed there, um, to think they played Ireland in the 80s when
yeah,
you know, the 80s is not known for the height of crack, um, but it's just phenomenal. But as you mentioned there, like it's a sad, untimely passing. Like the man was in his early 70s, and there are multiple generations of music going fans in Ireland and international fans. How
yeah,
it's gone, who have memories of great concerts and great times out in this little village in County Meath because of this man's ability, his vision, his ambition. Wow, and may he rest in peace, and condolences to the Cunningham family.
definitely. Well said, Chris. Yeah. Like just touching on that again, like obviously we're going to chat about our interview that we had up there, but hearing so many stories about, people that met in Slane ended up getting married, so many famous photographs and our own president, his photograph taken on the lawn. I'm sure you've seen that one too. Michael D.
There's,
Higgins.
yeah,
We all have so many memories, and like we just said, yeah, it's a special place. And I think a great quote, I think
no
at the
doubt about
end of one of the interviews that Lord Henry was involved in, like it's a magical place, and there never ever will be another place like it. I don't think it just how it started and what it's become is it's magic, you know. But
it.
as
Yeah.
you said, condolences to the family. But yeah, like we said, we had the pleasure of maybe a month ago now, Chris. Um, we
Yeah.
sat with the new heir to the throne, we should say, Mr. Alex Conyngham. We had the pleasure of sitting with him, invited us into our home. Myself and Luke, of course, on the podcast, and we done a collaboration with Rob Byland from Wall Again, another YouTuber, and
Hmm.
we sat with Alex for a good 45 minutes, and we kind of did I guess you could call it a short interview slash documentary, recapping all the Slane concerts, memories that Alex had. We touched on
Hmm.
different things, maybe we're not going to give it all away, of course, Chris, but there was some very, very
No.
interesting topics spoke about, maybe acts that he'd like to see or wasn't there, But Chris, you were the man.
Oh, it was.
Sorry, Chris.
Sorry, Gav. I
Yeah,
was just going to say it was a hell of an interview. Like you guys, however you got that, and the questions that you, Luke, and Rob had lined up, and Alex, his openness, and me going over there that day. I had no idea what the man looked like or sounded like or anything. And next thing you're met with a cross between what Jeremy Irons and James Bond, this distinguished man, and he was so nice, and the time he gave, and the answers, and there is just one thing, unfortunately, like as you said, we recorded this a month ago, and the edit has been going on about a month, and like one night last week, I went to bed, having worked on the edit, thinking to myself, wait a minute, I actually don't have photos of Lord Henry in here. I'm presuming the viewer has a bit of background knowledge about Slane, but no, wait, let's make this more accessible. So I went to bed one night last week, gathering a few photos of Lord Henry, and then the following morning woke up and was using one of those photos for an obituary. It's mad, and to hear Alex, like, unfortunately in this interview, saying things like "dad is" and
Yeah.
present tense. Ah, look, but you guys were blessed to get that interview, and thanks very much for including me in it. How did it come about, Gavin? If you don't mind me asking.
It came about with me having a big neck.
No way, no
Yeah,
way.
yeah. No, there was a kind of a mutual family member who was kind of friends of a friend of Alex, and I did approach him last year, and he did say that he would sit with us. But at the time, the Slane whiskey, of course, which is being pushed big time by the family, as well as other things, you have the Rock Farm and you have so many other things that's involved in the castle at the minute. But he was very, very busy pushing Slane whiskey to festivals and stuff in America. So
Okay.
he was really busy. So I said to the mutual friend, I said, look, leave him be. When the time's right, the time's right. So I don't know. I think I was at home one night and I said, you know what? Enough time's passed. It's time to try this again. And we started, myself and Luke started doing the Slane recaps on YouTube. So we started off. It was actually Rob. I had text Rob and I said, we do our album reviews and we do our concert reviews and our, gig reviews and whatever. And I don't know what it was. One morning I said, why are we not doing Slane Castle? Like Slane Castle's less than an hour away. It's one of the most iconic venues in Europe, if not the world. It's known worldwide. We've attended them. It's had the best. It has the best. So let's do it. So me and Rob started off with Tin Lizzy, and little did I know when I started the Tin Lizzy one that I found out that my mother was at it. I didn't even know that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
The
and
woman Olive.
yeah, so many people have come up to me and messaged me privately and stuff. Or like this footage has been around for years. Like we have gathered some of the archive footage from RTE and stuff like that. We're just putting a new twist on it. But I guess that generation that we spoke about that maybe it has skipped, maybe our generation, probably Chris, that maybe hasn't seen that older footage from the 80s and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and that we have put our twist on it, and then maybe a parent or an uncle or an auntie has seen it, like, oh, I was at that, and then they're seeing it. I'm like, they're looking back at almost 40 years ago, like, and they're getting a fresh look on it, and maybe a fresh take on it, and their little monologue and stuff like that. So it kind of grew like that. I had sent the videos to that mutual friend, who then passed them on to Alex Cunningham, and Alex said, okay, these boys, they have a bit of flair about them, they know what they're doing. So then I said, right, the time is right now. I'm like, let's get a sit down. And I got a text message back, Friday, 12 o'clock, Slane Castle.
Yeah.
So,
And then you text me, and
so yeah,
uh, I was like, well, number one, fair play to you for getting such an interview, and two, yes, please, I will do that. Just sign that check there. Thank you. That money's good. Let's do that.
yeah. No, Chris,
It was.
I knew you're the man for the job because obviously with your other jobs in the music industry in your band, of course, when Ireland rocked. I've seen your work, and obviously we've had. I think this is our third chat on the podcast here. You were one of the first guests on, and then we had the pleasure of
Yeah.
sitting with yourself and Ribsy and Pat McManus and Cormac Neeson, of course, and Jimmy. Um,
Mm.
that was a great chat
Yeah,
as
that
well.
was that
But
was before the Gavin show.
that's right.
Yeah.
But like, no, you're very good at what you do. And obviously we know each other a long time. So I said, oh, Chris Carney is the man to go to. So straight away I reached out, Chris, we have a slot here, Slane Castle. I need you. And fair play to you. You jumped in, man.
Oh no, thank you, and thank you for those kind words, Gavin. Like, I am still early in my video making and editing expedition, and some of you were so well prepared going over. You were saying like with the drone, could we get this kind of shot maybe? And I don't want to spoil the shot, but there was one specific shot you asked for with the drone outside, and like I hadn't done one of those before, and it's been interesting in the edit to try and make that kind of not look terrible. But like it was just a dream to get to shoot the interview, and it was during May when we had famous weather. So to let the drone fly, Alex was sound about that. He was sound about everything.
Yeah.
So I can't wait now. I'm ready for this interview, for the edit to be finished. Because man, I could keep going on this. Like you mentioned the word documentary, So I've been just adding to this, and I've asked you once or twice, Gavin, please help me end this. As in, Chris, stop, just stop. So I'd like to think though we've struck a good balance with, not overdoing it with extra footage and stuff, just supplementing what Alex gives in an amazing interview. Like there was someone else watching it with me, a bit of it as I was editing it, and this person wouldn't as such be mad into the subject matter of it,
Yes.
but said to me, "Wow, he is so watchable, magnetic. You'd listen to him read a phone book,
Yes.
and so we have to get this out there. And on one final thing, like this, the Slane Castle story, and Lord Henry, and that all deserves, like, be it the HBO or the Netflix treatment or big documentary style. So that will come soon, like. But for now, if we can help, as you said, fill the gaps for generations of people, like, we're an example. We knew Harry Styles played there, but I never seen one photo from it until recently. Like for a whole other generation, that was an insane looking concert by all accounts, was amazing.
Yes.
So Slane, let's keep this going and keep bringing, music to the generations in Ireland. Like,
Yeah, no, well said. And like, yeah, I'm really excited for our watchers to see this because, like you said, I've had a similar experience too, where, my sister-in-law, who wouldn't be, like you said, fully invested in the music industry, but I was watching her watching because I was looking for, is this good? Is this bad? And I'm like, and she's just locked in, and she's like you just said, I could watch this guy for hours. Like he's a very intelligent man. He's well schooled. I think he attended
mm,
Harvard, I think as well. I think Lord Henry did too. Also, he followed in his dad's footsteps, which is great. But no, overall, I think our watchers, if you have been to a show, if you are interested in overall music from 81 up to right now, you know, we touch on all of it. We touch on a few other little things that nobody that I can recollect has asked the Cunningham family. And
mm.
Alex has devoured some little things that you might be interested in watching that I have yet to hear anybody ask. And I know there was definitely questions asked and answered that will be very, very interesting for our watchers.
You just remind me of something, okay?
Mm.
And this is full compliment to your partner, Luke, okay? But one of the questions, okay, Luke asks, I think I've seen that it's about 40 seconds long, which is a long time for a question, okay? And I think all of us in the room were maybe wondering during it, okay, where is this going? But Luke, he's an assassin. It lands exactly where he wants, and this question finishes in an excellent point. And the look on Alex's face when he gets the question, like it's you, Rob, and Luke. There was good questions all around, and yeah, well done, guys. Onward and upward. Who's next? Where are we going next?
Let's see what happens. But no, Chris, I'm really excited. I think we should be maybe, very conscious of as we record this here. I don't believe there was any funeral arrangements yet for Lord Henry, so we probably will wait until the timing is right
Ah,
to release
mhm.
this. But I think we're very, very close. and I think maybe, maybe shortly we might have maybe a few snippets maybe to tease to our listeners or watchers, I should say. But all in due course, respect is number one thing on my end, and the timing will have to be right when
Of course.
the family. Not, I have spoken to Alex just before the untimely passing of Lord Henry, and he told me, whenever you want, but I think we'll use our own initiative and no.
Let's use our initiative because yeah, I remember you telling me that Alex has said, guys, go ahead whenever you're ready.
Mm,
And like at that moment I felt kind of, oh no, the ball's in my court now to finish this, like, but situations have completely changed.
yeah,
God love them. So, fair play to you, Gavin, like initiative and like I think I speak for both of us here. We're not trying to promote this off the back of a
no,
tragedy or
no,
anything there. I'm
definitely.
not going to try and tell this is all Alex's words in this. I'm not again, we touch upon Lord Henry in it, but you know, it was a good piece of film to get and fair play to you guys and yeah, release it in your own time.
The right time. But yeah, we leave it at that then. I think overall, I think Lord Henry would want the show to go on. I think he wants the
Uh,
history and the magic of Slane to continue. And I think even, the little small part that we're doing for our small base of listeners, I think if he was, he'd want it out there. He wants the thing to keep going.
yeah.
So sit tight. It's coming soon. And I believe me, it's a bloody masterpiece. Chris has done a fantastic job. And I have to say, I'm pretty proud of it. Like Chris said, the questions that were asked were I think it was some of our best work, Chris. And yeah, sit tight. It's coming soon, and you're going to enjoy it. So we leave it at that, and check you on the next one, okay?